Hello everybody and welcome to part 1 of Root. This is apparently based off of a board game, but I've never played the board game and I don't really know very much about the game either. All I really know is that there's 4 factions maybe? And they're competing? Let's do the tutorial, that should teach us how to play. Ooh, there's a lot of things here. The basics. Seems like a good place to begin. Welcome to Root, a game of warfare and adventure where 4 unique factions struggle for control over the vast woodlands. In this scenario, you will play as the ambitious Marquise Ducat. I hope I'm saying that right. Marquise? Long before they became the military and industrial powerhouse they are today, the Marquise came to the forest with a small band of warriors and a few modest buildings. I hear the flapping of wings in the distance. Move quickly to establish your hold on the forest before your feathery foes, the Eyrie, arrive. Eyrie? Eyrie? Rule 5 clearings. Move a warrior into a neighbouring clearing to expand your rule. So I select who I've got, I think. Is there a rabbit? Move you to here. Yes. Clearing suit. Each clearing has a suit representing the community of creatures living there. Okay, what's it represent though? Hello the random dragon. How are you? Also hello Gradient Cat. Yeah, it's a new game. When you use the march action, you get to make 2 moves. Make another move now. I can move again? Oh, I can move a second one. Yeah. How many are here? Oh, I see. They've got a number saying how many are standing there. They have 1 in 3 different areas. You're playing VR chat again. How's that going? What model do you use in VR chat? What's this mean? Let's end our turn and rest. We have a big day of building ahead. Okay. What? You using your Rivali? Awesome. I still don't understand which creatures these are meant to represent. Is that like a rat, that's a bunny, and that's a fox? Hello Jack Shepherd, I'm okay, how are you? Your sawmills generate 1 wood at the start of your turn. Wood is used to create buildings. Nice. So let's build a recruiter to get more warriors into the forest. A recruiter? Choose the clearing to building. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know enough about this game to know where I want to put that building. How far off is the map? It's pretty close. Everything's pretty close. I kind of like the look of this one. Let's go here. This clearing is perfect. Pay 1 wood to build the recruiter. Protogens be like lamb sauce, do you mean ram sauce? Pretty much. So sawmills will get me more wood, recruiters get me more people. Yes. Oh, that's 2 recruiters there now, okay. Use the recruit action to place a warrior at each of my recruiter buildings. But it's just the one. If I knew that was the building I was putting here, I wouldn't have put it in the same place. I would have spread out a bit. So silly. How to spam the game. Spread out my warriors to rule more clearings. Yes. Absolutely. As I feared, an AoE warrior has seized a nearby clearing. They aren't friendly to outsiders. I see a burb. Poop. After 3 actions, the day has finished for the mighty Marquise. I really hope I'm saying these words right. Okay, goals. March my warriors into that clearing to challenge them. But I have 3 actions. Oh, it costs 2 for one of those in that case. I'll start by putting a sawmill. Oh, whoops. I want to put a sawmill over there. Oh well, we have a sawmill here now. We'll put a recruiter here next. Also, hello, Queen City Q and Continuous Paradigms. How's it going? Spawn. I kind of feel like a 2-to-1 would be better here, so I don't want to go charging straight in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this one upwards. And I think I'm going to move one of these out. There we go. Now we have 2 woods. I'll build here the other recruiting station. Nice. I'll make more units appear. And then I'll move 2 of them up to do the fight. That didn't fight. Fighting's its own action. Our warriors will surely triumph over these vile birds. Select battle to fight them off. Vile birds? No. In battle, 2 dice are rolled with sides 0 to 3 to determine hits. The attacker has the advantage. They take the higher die, leaving the defender with the lower one. Okay then. Each player can deal no more hits than the number of warriors they have in the clearing of battle. Okay, that works well. I think I just killed a bird, everyone. Thank you for the resub, Continuous Paradigms. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. For each hit, an enemy piece is removed from the map. I think we actually slaughtered this poor bird. Your total hits are added up and displayed below. Rip. It's like there was never a bird here. The Aerie have built a roost that can recruit more of their warriors. You must attack and destroy it before their flock becomes too strong. Oh no. In that case. I have an idea. I have 2 actions, and I want to fight on the same action. I'm gonna move 2 units in from different angles. Yeah, happy birthday! That was yesterday. Happy birthday for yesterday. You're saying it was yesterday, right? A movement means I can move 2 people. So they both go in here and I fight the nest. Yes. Defenseless? Maybe I didn't need so many here. Your enemy is defenseless since they have no extra warriors to protect them. This means you get to deal an extra... Good, because that would have been embarrassing if I couldn't do anything to a defenseless nest. Extra hits are not limited by the number of warriors in the clearing of battle, so a single warrior could deal multiple hits. Nice. We did 1 damage, that's a bonus. Is that enough? 1 damage is enough. Yesterday was your 18th. Happy 18th! That's a big one. You're communicating with the circle in Merps in VR chat. It's Merps are just like Morse code leveled up. Well done, you've destroyed their roost. The forest is ours for now. Poor bird. Okay, next tutorial. I have cards now. What? What does it mean? The invading Marquise the Cat wishes to exploit the woodland using its vast resources to fuel her economic and military machine. She scores victory points by constructing buildings in the woodland. In a typical scenario, the first player to score 30 wins. This scenario, let's see if he can get to 12. Victory points. 2 victory points, 1 victory point. Using these cards costs a victory point, or gives me a victory point. When you start a game as Marquise the Cat, you place Marquise in one of the 4 corner clearings. This one. Right, I'm ahead of myself. The keep is the cornerstone of your kingdom. Enemies may not build or place pieces in the clearing with your keep, but they can move there. Place it now. Aww! The Marquis army greatly outnumbers the other factions. You start with a warrior in every clearing except the one in the corner opposite your keep. That clearing is Aerie territory. 3 units! Whoa. Okay, that's an advantage. Finally, you must place one of each building in the clearing with your keep or any adjacent ones. How is that adjacent? The Aerie have swooped in and built a roost in the empty clearing. It's quite well defended. That is well defended, all 6 of them. You might have to regroup for this. At the start of daylight, you have an opportunity to craft cards from your hand using workshops. What did that say? The cost to craft a card is shown on the wooden board below its suit. 2 fox? Does this mean we sacrifice 2 fox? I thought killing the birds was bad enough. A suit and crafting cost. So suit is claw. I don't know what this means still. Each workshop contributes its clearing suit towards paying crafting costs. For example, you could craft this arms trader if you had 2 workshops in the fox clearings. I can craft smuggler's trail since I have a workshop in the mouse clearing and it costs 1. Okay. It's crafting free. Oh, crafting the smuggler's trail rewarded me with a victory point. I'm on my way to my 12th goal. Yes. 2 victory points, 1 victory point. What exactly did I use there? Oh, I crafted a thing. Okay. After crafting, the marquees can take 3 actions. You misheard goal as gold and it was like gold? Aww. I haven't found any gold in this game yet. The marquees also scores victory points when building, so we can just spam some buildings then and we win. We don't need to kill them. We've got plenty of room. I can only place buildings in clearings you rule with available building slots. Meaning every single one? Except for that? Okay. Workshops allow me to craft cards in my hand. So why am I putting it here then? Okay, I'll go with it. Sawmills produce wood to help me build more buildings. Recruiters, as I know, help me to recruit warriors. Let's build a recruiter to bolster the defenses. Sure. A nice forward recruiter. Why not? Now that there are 2 recruiter buildings, you can recruit 2 warriors with a single recruit action. Nice. Move my warriors to the front lines to defend against the Aerie. Oh, so it's an option whether I move 1 or 2. No, I want to move 1. I wanted to move this one over as well. Oh. I guess we're putting all our defense on the south side. Remember, when you choose too much, I can make 2 moves, use a second to keep. Oh, I can do both anyway. Nice. Aha. I can move in bulk. To move, you must rule either the clearing you are moving from or moving to. Aha. This can make it tricky to move deep into enemy territory without a substantial army. That makes sense. So you've got to be ruling at least one of them. So we could move in, because we're ruling the one we'd be moving from. But if there was 1 bird, if there was 3 birds here as well, we couldn't just ignore them and keep progressing. During evenings you draw a card. You can draw additional cards by having more recruiters on the map. Oh, so that should be 2 then. Birdsong, place 1 wood at each sawmill. Craft, and then 3 actions, and then draw a card on the recruiter track. Okay. Where's the recruiter track? The Marquise de Cat is an upstart. The lineage of the Aerie dynasties will surely retake the forest. Uh-oh. The Aerie are assigning actions to their decree. Each faction has unique capabilities and their own way of taking actions. What are they doing? They rule any clearings where they're tied, and crafting items that only get 1 victory point. I see. The area may not look like much yet, but their ever-growing decree will allow them to take more and more actions each turn so long as their leader stays in power. Oh no. They found the weak link in our defense. Prepare to fight. I think we're gonna lose. We're gonna get stabbed. We took one with us. Nice. 2 roosts? No. Discard a matching card for Field Hospital to return 1 warrior to my keep. Field Hospital? Huh? What are they talking about? Matching to what? Ah, to the area that it was in. I guess. You can review special abilities unique to your faction, like Field Hospitals, by tapping on the avatar. Yeah, what is that? When a warrior dies, I can spend a matching card to return them to the keep. Place pieces in the clearing with the keep token. Nice. You may have lost the fight, but as long as your keep still stands, we can heal fallen warriors with your Field Hospitals. Discard a... Don't retaliate just yet. Build 2 more buildings to keep gaining victory point. Discard a card that matches the suit of the clearing where your warriors would appear to return them to your keep. Can I see that, please? I can't read this. Build another building of your choice. Okay, how about... I don't know how far forward we want to go though, do we? I'm thinking I want one here. Hold on. Cancel that. What cards have I got? This one needs 2 fox clearings, but I've only got that one, which doesn't count towards either. I'm trying to think, would I rather... I'd probably like more wood actually. This way please. Wood here, yes. Could use more wood for building. Let's use overwork to push a sawmill to produce more wood. Yeah. To overwork, you must discard a card matching the suits of one of my sawmill's clearings to gain a wood. Cards in the bird suit act as wild and be used in place of any other suit. Oh, that's helpful. Did that work or? I had to click on the zone. Excellent. You have enough wood to make another building. You may spend any wood on the map connected to the clearing you wish to build on, so long as they are connected by clearings you rule. I can spend wood on the map connected to the clearing. What? think I'd like a workshop here too then. Tap my avatar for more building info. As you build more of a particular building type, its cost increases along with the victory points it earns you. Ah. So I win based on how many buildings I make. Cool. I'm out of actions. By discarding a card, I can take an extra action. Looks like I haven't recruited yet. Let's do that. Yes, please. Ambush in a fox clearing. More warriors arrive each day. The area will use them to crush your pitiful forces. Please don't. I don't know why this message might go. Oh no! The birds have fallen into a trap. I have a fox ambush card I can play. Use it now to destroy 2 attackers. I can ambush in a fox clearing. Defender may play. The defender can deal 2 immediate hits. Haha! I just killed the birds. An ambush? These cats are more clever than I thought. And I think they win. Oh, we still got one. Haha! And they put a base here? No. Continue scoring points to defeat the area by destroying roosts and constructing buildings and crafting items that award victory points. Oh, so I'm on my own now? Okay. Wood tokens. Ah, so it's saying I'm making wood there. Oh, I can't see what it's saying. Okay, looks like I've got 3 actions. Oh, place 1 wood at each sawmill. Haha. Thinking. We might be able to do something with this, with these birds. We're weak up there, and I don't want them to get through to this. I need to reinforce both. I'd like to build here another recruiter. Then recruit. And I'd like to move. I don't mind so much if they get the first attack, but I want to reinforce it a bit. Oh, but they'll be able to move straight through, so I don't want to leave this completely empty either, do I? Ooh. Mine. Discard a card that matches a suit. Clearing around warriors are defeated to return them to my keep. I don't think I can. Oh no, that's the old message. They're getting stronger. No! That didn't work in my favor at all. Rude. In battle as an attacker, I can deal an extra hit, but the defender scores a point. And this... What do the sacks do? The vagabond uses sacks to increase the capacity of their satchel. I don't think we're the vagabond. Okay, so we start by getting the wood. This I can probably kill this bird for the cost of one of mine. I think I'd like to start by attacking here. I score 1 for each enemy building and token removed. Removing warriors does not score victory points. Okay. Oh, and we took out the base. All in one. Haha! Hello, Felon. Nice work taking down that roost. Keep attacking roosts and facing buildings to reach your victory point goal. Got this. No, I don't want to discard something. Okay, you. Back up, maybe. I think I'm gonna move these two up. Then we're strong. I think I'd like to put one just to make sure we can maybe destroy this building. Use the bonus card. Oh, it didn't let me? Oh. We got it anyway. Nice. Bonus. Spend a bird card for an additional action. Where does this belong to? Ah, up there. Trying to think whether that's worth it. Probably. Let's do it. Then I want to move. I want to move them somewhere. because I don't want them to be able to move further forward. Because they win in ties, so that's their zone. Now it's my zone, so they can't move out then. Or does it not count because they have a roost there? We'll see. I think it's still their zone. That's not what I intended. The area have entered turmoil. They could not recruit in a rabbit clearing. What? They changed. Discard a card to return them to my keep. I think I'd rather use the card for a victory point. Can I remove this message? It shouldn't be there. Protection racket. Got one in a bunny clearing. What if I build down here where it's nice and safe? Put another one. Then can I use this? What does it mean? That doesn't do much for us. What building can I afford? Because if I get one more building, I think that's a victory to 12 points. Here we go, let's put a sawmill in. Nice. This poor bird. Now we play as bird. Is the map the same or is it different every time? It looks the same. The proud Eyrie dynasties wished to reclaim the glory of their once great aristocracy and retake the woodland from the Marquis. They score each turn by building and protecting roosts in the woodland. I begin with the roost and 6 warriors. Roosts are the Eyrie's only building type. They are used to craft cards from your hand, recruit warriors, and score victory points each turn. We'll need a leader who can expand our avian empire. Let's select the Depot, since he will allow us to build from turn 1. Ignore your disdain for trade when you craft. You face 2 warriors, not 1 each time you recruit. As attacker in battle, you deal an extra hit. And if you remove at least 1 enemy building or token in battle, you get a point. Okay. The area must follow the official decree each turn. Each column of the decree is associated with a different action. Move warriors and build in the clearing. I see. So it's kind of based on the cards. Yeah, okay. Recruit, move, battle and build. Your leader determines the initial actions in your decree, in this case, move and build. Each turn, we must add 1 or 2 cards to our decree. Only 1 card added may be a wild card. Let's add this now. Hello, Mr. Macaroni! Okay, why are we adding this? Recruit Oh. As your decree grows, you can do more and more each turn. Ah, so there's no three action limit. It's a limit based on this that grows, but we don't have an option to battle this turn. When you assign cards to your decree, only their suit applies. If you want to use a card's effect, you must save it for the crafting phase. During Birdsong, you may craft cards from your hand using roosts. Each roost contributes the suit of its clearing towards paying costs, much like the Marquis' workshops. Birdsong. Each roost contributes the suit towards paying costs. I'm a bit confused by that. My roost in the mouse clearing will allow me to craft sappers. Battle as a defender, you may discard this to deal an extra hit. So what are we doing? So we've crafted it. During daylight, your decree is resolved from left to right. Recruit a warrior in the roost matching the suit of your decree assignment. Assigned. Wildcards assigned to a decree can be used in any clearing. Where do we want to move them? Oh, but we're not going to be able to build, are we? Because it's not going to let us attack. Or will it? Because we'd have the majority wherever we move to. Okay. Which way would I want to move though? Probably downwards, I think. Move 3 warriors, I would have moved 4, to the clearing below. 3 warriors allows you to maximize the hit potential of your die roll in battle. Good to know, yeah, because the dies only go up to 3. 4 just ensures they can't kill me in one shot. Three birds. You skip the battle action because you do not have any cards assigned to the battle column of your decree. Finally, we get to build our second roost. Right on top of them. Haha. I can't put it in the same area, can I? Then the roosts need to be in new areas. At the start of evening, you score victory points for your roosts. Select my avatar for more details. So I rule any clearings where I'm tied, and when crafting items I only score 1 victory point, so I really cannot rely on crafting. The roost track shows our progress toward retaking the forest. The more roosts you have, the more victory points you score each turn. Oh, so 1 point per turn? That's pretty good. Awesome. These bird brains think they can retake the forest, not on our prowl. What are they doing? Oh no. They're doing things. New day, new opportunity to add to your decree. Let's add a card to recruit so we can get more warriors each turn. Oh, nice. Each turn you may also assign a second card to your decree. assign this card to the battle so we can fight marquees in those clearings? Why would I do that? Oh, I guess because there's one there, isn't there? There's so much planning ahead as this, people. Nothing to craft this turn. No matter. Your disdain for trade limits your reward for crafting items to a single 1 victory point trade. Like 1 victory point trade, like many things, is quite literally beneath you. Okay. So does this mean we have an option, or does it mean we get one of both? One of both. Very nice. Move 3 warriors into the rodent clearing with your opponent's recruiter to set up a battle. A foul smell hangs in the air. The area must be approaching. Time to fight. Make those dirt dwellers tremble in the presence of your aerial warriors. Now we're gonna kill the cats. I don't think this is much better than the birds getting killed. I know. Poor cat. What a glorious battle. We must rule a clearing to place a roost there. Warriors and buildings in a clearing contribute to who rules it. The Aerie always wins ties. Nice. And then we can build a roost. So we only have the one building type, we can put it here. Yeah, okay. You draw an additional card during evening for every 3 roosts you have in play. 3 cards. Oh no. Please don't ruin my roost. Select the Sapper's card I crafted to take out an additional enemy warrior. Yes, please. They still killed my thing though. No. Now how am I going to spawn people in that zone? I feel turmoil approaching, but you must add to the decree each turn no matter what. Make an assignment now, just don't worry too much about where. Yeah, I think we're not going to be able to spawn anybody in this zone. That's a problem. Move warriors from a matching clearing. Yeah, this is all bad. Something like that, why not? Choose a clearing to recruit warriors. I think I'd like one more here, please. No clearings to match the decree. Continue to enter turmoil. Uh-oh. Squawk, we've fallen into turmoil because we couldn't perform all actions on our decree. Those malevolent marquees destroyed our only roost in a fox clearing last turn, leaving with no fox clearings to recruit to. During turmoil, you discard all the cards in your decree and lose 1 victory point for each discarded wild card. You then select a new... That's pushing all the way back to 1 point. You then select a new leader and proceed to evening. So it's just like a completely wasted turn. Oh no. Choose a leader. 2 warriors instead of 1. An extra hit. Better crafting. I still don't fully understand crafting. Let's get more units. Avoiding turmoil requires careful placement of cards to your decree. Try to match suits to the clearings you plan on interacting with. Wild cards may lose your victory points during turmoil, but they offer flexibility that can help prevent it from happening. That turn was a big waste. My turn. I look ready to take it from here. Destroy enemy buildings, craft cards, and build and protect roosts to score 10 victory points and complete this scenario. If you're having trouble deciding what card suits to assign to your decree, you can always minimize it and review the map. Good plan. Once you have a better idea of your board position, you can re-expand and assign cards. Cool. So, we've got to put a fox somewhere. Could fight in a fox area. Or we can build in a fox area. Perhaps building would be better. We need more roosts. I can see a few fox areas around that we can try to get to. Assigning a fox card to build will lead to turmoil unless you take control of a fox clearing with an open building slot this turn. No, that's what I wanted. So, this goal. Oh, but I can't move. Too late to take that back. There's no moving, but then it's going to lead to turmoil anyway. I've got nowhere I can move them to. But I don't have any I can recruit to or build. The only thing, wherever I put this, it's bad. I've got nowhere to recruit in a fox area. I can't move from a fox area. I can't battle in a fox area because I can't move to it. And I can't build in one. Because I got nobody left in the other areas. It's already bad. So I'll put it on the end. Is it going to warn me wherever I put it? Maybe it's just a really bad draw. So if it's bad wherever I put it, I might as well put it at the end. Just so I can get some recruits and battles out of this. Can't build a roost in the fox clearing since I don't rule any clearings in that suit. Turmoil again. That was a quick one. What happens if I run out of leaders? I don't have many left. Panic. Move and recruit. My points are so bad. Crafting. I still don't understand how crafting works. I kind of keep missing that bit. Madeline's attack, you can do an extra hit, but defender scores 1 point. They're getting a lot of points, aren't they? Don't bite off more than you can chew. Remember, if you are ever unable to perform an action assigned to your decree, your flock will fall into turmoil. Okay. Do we want more spawns or buildings? I think we want more buildings, don't we? More buildings would be nice. Merp. Okay, so to move. We need to move. And we need to battle. And we need to build. Let's move 3 here. Then battle here. And then we can build here too. Nice. Excellent. Your advantage is the attacker that you take the higher die from the right. Overkill. Nice. Should get a bonus card now. They're on 11 points. It's pretty bad because they're only playing to like 10. Recruit. Okay, we need to do something in a fox area. Perhaps a battle. That would make sense. A wild card recruit would be nice, so we can replenish some of our people. Move doesn't make sense, recruit doesn't make sense, battle makes sense, build. No, we don't want to build that much. I'm thinking battle. But if we do movements, if we put this into battle, we only have one movement. So say I send these over. They can't. Let's say I spawned here and sent 4 over so they can beat or have a good shot at these 3. I don't think that would work, because if we kill them in the one go, this won't do what I need it to do. If I put it in build, it's just as bad. Can I skip this? Because I put one thing in already. I think I'm happy with the wildcard. Maybe if I can get myself that box area. Yeah, let's put one more here. Move you. No. We need to fight. We need to move, fight, then build. I don't think they're gonna kill the kill enough things here. They can only do 3 attack. They can't get any of the buildings. If I move up here, I think I just got to do this and get lucky. Might actually be worth undoing that move and spawning them here instead then. So I'm not relying so much on luck. Oh no. Okay, one of them's alive. We can still build. Another bird card. I'm liking these bird cards. Well, if I just do another bird card, because they're good. Being able to recruit anywhere, that's a fairly safe move, I think. Don't have anyone in a box area, so it doesn't make sense to put move in there. I could have an automatic move from here, but that would be... to do an automatic move from here, I'd want a spawn in the same area that I'm moving from. So I can get a spawn and a move in the one action. Would make sense to put... no. I was thinking maybe this one. Or I could just get a free recruit. Yeah, I've got a few of these. Seems pretty harmless. One here. One there. And one here. It's a lot of birds. I really want a building over here. How risky is that? Those two can walk in whenever. How about we just move 2 of them? What do I need to do to craft this? I need a fox zone, don't I? Once in doubt, I can remove one of my warriors to draw a card. It's not too helpful. No, I kind of want them to keep defending, and I'll move these two. Because they won't have any other direction to attack this top area. Nice. Free nest. I got the 10 points I needed. Nice. Now that you know the marquees and Ari, would you like to play a practice game between them? But there's more tutorials. I want to know what else there is. The upstart Woodland Alliance wish to unite the creatures of the forest and revolt against their oppressors. They score by spreading sympathy for their cause across the woodlands. Being the underdogs, we don't start with any warriors or buildings on the map. Instead, we begin with 3 supporters that can spread sympathy tokens for our cause. Where? Which ones are we? Oh, we don't start with any. But we have supporters? I'm looking for them. Are they on our side of the map? Or are they the 3 people at the bottom? How does this work? Each clearing where we can spread sympathy has a supporter cost. Spend a supporter to spread sympathy in the fox clearing below. Any of them? Oh, they're on the left. What? We can spread sympathy multiple times in one turn if we have the support, as long as we expand from an existing sympathetic clearing. So we have one, the other 2 types, okay. Select the second clearing to spread sympathy to. Nice work. Playing our second sympathy scores us 1 victory point. Select my avatar to learn more about scoring sympathy. In battle as defender, you use the higher roll and the attacker uses the lower. Ooh, that's a good thing. And it says nothing about that as the attacker. When an enemy encounters or destroys sympathy, they must add a card matching the clearing to your supporters. Not sure I follow. If we go higher, gaining sympathy costs more supporters and scores more victory points. At the start of... we've got one left, don't we? At the start of daylight, sympathy contribute the suit of their clearing towards paying crafting costs, just like the Airy Roosts. The suit of their clearing towards paying crafting costs. Okay. Eerie Roosts and Marquis Workshops. Let's get crafting. So we can craft these 2, by the looks of it then. Suddenly a crossbow? Wait, how does this work? Oh, because the fox cost. This is confusing. I'm using the one that's in the to the left to craft it, not the one that's on the top. Okay. Should be able to make an anvil too then. What did that do? Crafted items. I can't see what it does. Is there any way to see that? Or do you just need to remember what it does? Use mobilize to turn the remaining cards in a hand to supporters. You can't hold more than 5 supporters until you build a base. That'll give us 2 more fox supports. The revolution has awakened, but for now it is time to rest. Don't listen to this woodland rabble. Ignore this heresy. The Marquis is your rightful ruler. Heresy. Heresy, bling the heavy flame, and no! How am I meant to do heresy if I'm trying not to get burnt? Building support was just the beginning. Now it's time to rise up and revolt. Exterminator's time, please no! Select the clearing below. You must spend 2 supporters matching the suit of the clearing to cause the revolt. And what does that do? Yeet. That's what it does. A revolt destroys all opposing units, tokens, and buildings in that clearing. Then you build a base there with warriors equal to the number of sympathetic clearings in the same unit. There's so many buzzwords here. Clearings unit. What? It's the number of sympathetic clearings in the unit. So the number of sympathetic box areas I have. So it's a choice of whether I want to spread or whether I want to attack. This is when I'm playing these people. Okay. You can only have 3 bases in the forest, 1 for each clearing type. It looks like an officer has arrived as well with our new base. He'll help direct our evening military operations. 1 officer and 8 of those? Huh? This is confusing. Spread sympathy. Well, we gotta pick one of these, don't we? To where? You can go a long way. Where's their main base? Could be aggressive with it, but it might be a good idea to put them close to each other, or maybe control the middle is a good idea. I can now craft or mobilize the card in my hand. It's up to you. Okay, so to craft it, craft or mobilize? Huh? Visit to friends. Is that just a movement or a victory point? 1 victory point. I'm so confused what's happening here. Let's try mobilizing, because I don't know what that does yet. Mobilizing turns them into units there. I now have access to a number of evening military operations actions equal to your officers. Use your one military action to recruit a warrior. I know. Time to quell these rabbit rousers. Uh-oh. When an opponent moves warriors into a sympathetic clearing or destroys a sympathy token, it causes outrage. This forces your opponent to add a card from their hand that matches the clearing to your supporters. I'm being attacked. Thankfully, the Woodland Alliance are masters of guerrilla war. When defending, you take the higher die in combat as if you were the attacker. Rip. Good outcome. We've been outfoxed. Spread sympathy, craft cards, and remove enemy buildings to score 15 victory points and complete the scenario. No clearing to revolt in, okay. No clearing to spread sympathy too. Why not? Why can we not spread sympathy? We've got cards, we've got those tokens. Oh no. Spend 2 supporters, spread sympathy, pay supporter cost to place sympathy. It costs 2 supporters to place more sympathies down. So it might be worth mobilizing more then. Or crafting if the victory points are nice. Don't have a lot of box areas, so I'm probably going to have to mobilize them anyway. I don't have much options. I'm not firework. You have a new daylight action, training. Discard a card from your hand, matching the suit of one of my bases to train an officer, allowing you to take more evening action. Oh? That could be worthwhile. Yeah, absolutely. Officers come from the same reserve as your warriors. Beware, when the supply runs out, you can't recruit either type. Aha, there's a limit to how many people I can have. So I have to balance between how many actions I want to take and how many people I want to put out. Okay. I want 2 of these, then I should be able to revolt in this area. Recruit or move? I can do both. Okay. think it might be worth putting 1 or 2 in this direction, maybe. Can they attack my sympathy people? Do I need to put the fences over here? It's probably worthwhile. Or do I want to attack this building? The organize action. Remove a warrior in a clearing without sympathy to spread sympathy there. Oh. For now I'd like to move, but I don't know whether I need to defend, whether I can go to here or to here to try and push on their buildings. I don't want to leave this place empty though, so I only really want to move 1. Since I'm only moving 1, it might be worthwhile to kill one of the outliers over here. There we go. They're getting too many points. What? Oh, the vagabond uses those to strike. I don't even know what a vagabond is. Revolt phase. Yeah. I didn't need to put them up there then, did I? I should have taken them over to this one. I need to pay attention to what's down here, that's what I've learned. Okay. 1 revolt. No clearing to spread sympathy to. Choose an action. Crafting isn't an action. I can get a free supporter. Or 2. Sure. How do I want to move here? What do I want to move these out? I'm thinking we recruit here. We move from here. At least 1. Let me try this action. I don't know what happened to him, but I'm a bit concerned. Got sympathy at least, that's what we wanted there. What does sympathy let us do again? It lets us revolt if we have enough supporters there. Sure. They're getting too much wood. No clearing to revolt in. Do I get a person back when I did that sacrifice? No, I didn't, did I? That person's gone forever. Spread sympathy. So I can just spread sympathy wherever if I have the cost. That's not even adjacent. Oh yeah, it is. It's adjacent to this one. Once in daylight, I can look at another player's hand. That's not so helpful. Which ones does it let me craft? Only that. That's not one that I'm interested in though. So might as well mobilize them all. I don't think I want more night actions. Then we'll be able to do the outrage thing in an area like this, or at least spread sympathy there. And in this area, that's one that we can do. So they're going to take over that area next. Let's try an attack. If I do an attack, I could lose people for good, right? But then to move into an area elsewhere, like if I was to move here, I'd lose them anyway just to put a building there. Or no, not even a building, just sympathy. I guess that's the point. We can insta-kill. We don't need the units really, do we? How did you get a building? A building was worth 2 as well, wasn't it? I could get a building here to spawn more. Oh no, I can't. You can only have one building in each type. So that building would be here. I don't want them to have their buildings. The buildings cannot fight back. Why don't I do that? I don't want to sacrifice for a sympathy. Maybe I do. If I sacrifice for a sympathy, I'd need 2 more before I can do the revolt and get my own buildings here. I'd rather just stop their buildings if I can. It's not like they're going to fight back. That was pretty bad. Aha. That's a victory point too, just by destroying it. Got another turn, let's just do that again, that worked well. If I did that first time, I might have sacrificed 1 for a sympathy here. Oh well. Revolt. Yes. Clearing to spread sympathy too. Why not? Don't we have a fox thing here? Oh no, because it's not adjacent, is it? That could be helpful. Some sappers. Start of daylight can initiate a battle. Once in daylight. This is the only one I'm really interested in crafting. Nice. Mobilizing these isn't going to be too helpful. We need two. If we're going to mobilize, we need to use it to go towards the fox. One of them. Why can't I? Oh no, I've already got all the houses, don't I? Thinking all I can do is just stockpile these. Hopefully they lead to something later on. Organize. Yeah, sure. Let's put two here. This is fairly forward into their base. I think we can then move them forward, or at least stop them from going past us here. My shared supply of warriors and officers is empty. I can free up room in my supply by using the organize action to sacrifice a warrior for sympathy. Oh, so you do get them back. I thought they didn't come back at all. Okay. In that case, let's move one. More sappers. Well, I'm getting a lot of cards. Wonder why that is. Outrage, because they're trying to fight me. Don't do that. So I was going for the... What was it called in the bottom right here? I was going to organize here. Yeah, I can organize there, that works. Okay, no revolts. No spreading sympathy. I can't get more sappers, okay. This is like a free point. Travel gear. Sure. Got fairly central control, so we can attack wherever we feel like if we want to. If I mobilize this, what do these do? Can only hold 5 supporters unless they have built a base. Remove a warrior to place a sympathy. I think that's probably a good idea. Let's remove this one. And then we can sacrifice 2 of these to make a revolt maybe? No, we already won. I wanted to see if that would have worked. The Lone Wanderer. Learn to play the Vagabond. Let's learn how the last team works. The wily vagabond wishes to gain fame or infamy in the midst of this brewing conflict. He scores by completing quests for the creatures of the woodland and by aiding and harming the other factions. We're not even on the board. Why are we in the trees? Your vagabond character is represented by a single pawn that can move and fight like a warrior and begins the game in a forest. Being early risers, vagabond may slip between forests and clearings. Each bird song. Let's slip into a clearing. Is bird song meant to mean morning? So wait, where can I move? These are your actions. I have 3. Your available actions are mostly determined by the items you hold in your satchel. When an item is used to perform an action, it is exhausted. You can't take that action again until the item is refreshed in birdsong. So that's 1 action per turn. The ruins are scattered across the map that hold new items. I see them. Explore the ruin in your space using the torch item. So now that means we have a craft. Explore gained me 1 victory point and a hammer that can be used to craft cards from your hand. Move into a mouse clearing to your right to craft a card requiring that suit. Aha, so you have 3 basic actions and a craft, because I just found that. Each craft you exhaust contributes 1 toward crafting cards with a cost matching the suit of your clearing. Collecting more will allow you to craft more expensive cards. I see, so I'd need 2 hammers to craft these. So it's not an action, it's how many I can use really. Craft mouse in a sack now to score 1 victory point and gain an item? Yeah, what do these do? I remember seeing this when I was playing as the Marquise the cat. What's it do? The number of items you can hold is limited by the 6 slots in your satchel. Each bag you acquire increases the amount of standard items you can store in your bag by 2. Very nice. The bag, coin, and water items don't take up room in your satchel and provide their effect automatically without needing to exhaust them. Okay, what do those other two do though? The cash and water. Most of your items are exhausted, so let's end daylight and rest. We still have a fight? You don't think we can fight them? No. Are they not going to murder me here? Yeah, I just put a bird here? Oh no, it's Woodland Alliance doing their thing. I didn't even realise they were in the game. During birdsong you refresh 3 items. This makes their actions available again. I see the Woodland Alliance has made a crossbow for trade. Slip into the forest above you to head their way. So going into the forest doesn't even take an action. Oh, going into the forest lets me teleport around. Okay then. Yeah, I can... No, I can't go anywhere. How does it choose where I can go? Ah, because this is one big forest all the way here. So I take a shortcut. I can only go places that are encircled by this path. Give a card matching your clearing suit to another player in the clearing to improve your relationship with them. Is there any benefit to the other team crafting that crossbow? Or is it just giving me points? Okay. Take this one. You must also exhaust an item of your choice to aid. Exhaust my carry capacity? Okay. If the player you aid has crafted any items, they will give you 1 in return. So we're forcing them to give us this. Why would they even craft it then? I guess for the victory point. Let's get the bag anyway. Thank you for the aid, friend. Be careful with that crossbow we gave you. Exhausted items always take up room in your satchel, even bags, coins, and water. Oh, so it exhausts it, but I still get to keep it? Weird. And won't provide their effect until you refresh them. The crossbow can be used to remove warriors without needing to battle. You can even use the crossbow to remove a building or token so long as its owner doesn't have a warrior there. Use it now on those unsuspecting cats. There's 2 of them. On guard, that wily vagabond is no friend of the Marquis. Oops, I probably should have mentioned that killing enemy warriors will make them hostile with you for the rest of the game. Such is the life of a vagabond. Once an enemy is hostile, your infamy scores you an extra point each time you remove one of their pieces in battle on your turn. However, you must exhaust an additional move action boot to move into spaces with hostile warriors. Use my attack to battle their weakened army. The maximum number of hits you can deal is determined by how many swords you have, even if they are exhausted. That crafting. It's just a 1v1. That's scary. Lucky they got a 0. I don't know if the game would have ended there if I died or what. We only get 3 things back, don't we? So I could keep going on exploring and crafting, but... yeah. Just do what it says. Next turn. Wait, does outrage mean they're gonna kill me? Oh no, outrage is them getting free cards. Uh-oh. This doesn't seem like a fair fight. When you take hits in battle, you must damage that many items. You can choose exhausted or unexhausted items. Damage. Well, these 3 are important. Crafting... crafting's probably a bit important. The crossbow is good for the free kills, meaning points. I don't think the bag's helping us too much just now. Maybe we'll find one later. Can I get a sword back? Available quests. Ooh. Fend off a bear in a mouse clearing. Guard duty in a rabbit clearing. Repair a shed in a fox clearing. I think that's something else that'll come later. Probably keep those 3. Those 3 are important. But this is riskier than the crossbow. I'd rather keep the crossbow. Don't think there's any way to make friends with the cats again. Choose items to refresh. Move, attack, and... bag? Many of our items were damaged in the last battle and are useless until we repair them. Slipping into the forest lets you repair all your items during the evening and will protect you from being attacked on enemy turns. Oh, that's good. Let's do that then. There are a few actions you can take in the forest. Go to evening. Everything's back. Nice. They got a bag, that might be nice. Now that your items are in tip-top shape, you should be ready to take them on a quest. Bear is rampaging in a mouse clearing nearby. Slip there to see if we can help. How can I tell that that's where the quest is? Or do I just need to... Craftable items, huh? Maybe it will tell me soon. There's the quest. We'll set your quest action and see what you'll need to do to fend off the bear. Epic Wolf is first. Hi Epic Wolf. You have what it takes to fend off a bear. To complete a quest, you need to be in a clearing matching its suit and exhaust the items required. I've got those. Pick my reward. The victory point reward for each quest is increased by 1 for each quest you have completed in the same suit. Victory point. Got plenty of cards here. After you complete a quest, you draw a new one. You can review your 3 active quests anytime by selecting my quest book. Can I tell how many quests I've done? In a forest during the evening, repair all items. Your pawn is not a warrior, cannot be removed from the map, and can move without ruling a clearing. Very nice. 1 attack. So I'm guessing the more swords I have, the more attack I do. I could do this. I need a fox area. Reach the next relationship level with the Woodland Alliance by aiding them twice in 1 turn. Is that what I should be doing here? To improve your relationship to the 2nd and 3rd levels, you must aid 2 and 3 times respectively in a single turn. Other players don't have items to trade to aid them, but you do have to give them a card. How can you tell what item? Oh, that you can see their items here. Each time you increase your relationship with a faction, I gain more victory points. When you reach the final level of your relationship, you become allied and earn 2 points each time you provide them with an additional aid. Is that what I should be doing here then? This is confusing because I've got like 3 things here, and yet there's so many numbers here. So one of them's that crafting, the other's to fight, and the other's to move, which is these 3. Why does it say there's 2 of these though? Where did I get 2 of this from? Oh, because the aid is cards that match the area we're in. I see. Might as well. Choose an item to exhaust. Perhaps the bag. But if it's exhausted, it's going to come out. Choose an item to take. Let's get another bag. Or do we want more movement? No, another bag. So we can then exhaust one of the bags. Your effort is appreciated. Aid us again to show you are a true comrade of the Alliance. Yes. I'll take the shoes, thank you. Free cards for them. Points for me. Explore another ruin, complete another quest, and score 15 points to complete this scenario. Nice. Okay, they're in a fox zone. I've got rabbit cards. There's a rabbit card there. How do we run to the forest? Or should I be crafting one of these things? Maybe I should be crafting while I'm here. Root tea, why not? Each water you have increases the amount of items you can refresh during birdsong by 2. Very good. That means you can probably refresh all of these then. Don't remember how to go into the clearing, into the forest. How do I do that? Or does that come later on? In a forest. Ah, forest is at the start of the turn. And then you have to skip daylight if you want to repair everything. In that case, maybe I'll just move so I'm not immediately in the path of these cats. Don't want them to murder me. Okay then. What do I want back? I've got one movement already. What are we dealing with? I'd like to move, attack with the crossbow, explore, and I'd like some more item bag, I think. What do we think another move would be nice? Oh, I can get more. Everything but the attack. Choose a location to slip to. Ooh. I've got it worked out here. So I'll go... do I want to hit them? Yeah, I want to explore. I can only explore from this side. I was thinking I can destroy their buildings, but I'll do that next. Explore. Another attack. Too bad I don't have another movement. I'd totally go there. The quests. You need to keep in mind the quests. I think I can do one here perhaps in the next turn. Don't kill them. They rolled a 0. Oh no, the wrong one rolled a 0, that's bad. Uh-oh. The cat have water. Is it too late to make friends? I want that water. Choose a location to slip to. Oh, everything's repaired. Okay. Immediately here. We need revenge. Probably should have used my bow, huh? Regret. Can't use the same sword. Yeah, it was a bad decision. We'll have to throw away a turn to get these back later. I wanted to do the crossbow, then attack, then try a quest thing. I don't think we'll be oh no, I've already chosen one shoe. We'll only lose one item. You have a damaged item that can exhaust a craft with the repair action to fix a damaged item. Oh, that's useful. Quest first though. Shoe and bag. Hammer and torch. We can do both of those, can't we? A hammer and a torch? No? Why not? Ah, 'cause I got no hammers in there. I got this hammer. Hold on. Yeah. I had to go out to refresh the amount of points it was worth. Did I just murder the friends there? Oops. The tutorial is complete. Put your knowledge to the test in challenge mode. No, because I think that's where I'll be stopping for tonight because it is pretty late. But now we know how to play, so next time I play this game, we'll definitely have to try a complete match from start to finish without the tutorial guiding us at all. That was a pretty fun game, I thought. Stay tuned. We'll roll the credits. Here's the Discord link if anybody's interested in joining. But yeah, we'll roll the credits and we'll look for somebody to raid. If anybody's got at least 1,000 channel points, you can... There we go, Continuous Paradigms is already on it. We are raiding Psychos. Psychos? How do I say this? Help. Okay, here's the credits. I hope that everyone's enjoyed the stream. I hope to see you next time. It's been really fun. Here's the credits. Thank you to Continuous Paradigms for the sub. And thanks to everyone for watching. Let's do that raid. Take care, everyone. Bye.